First of all, very, very disappointing, thank you. Very disappointing game. Felt like we came out of the blocks fast. Good kickoff return, big play on the first play of the game. They came right back and scored. Just overall, I got to give credit to Missouri State. They're a good football team, and I knew they were coming in. That wasn't just coach speak. I knew they were a good football team. Everybody in our league's good. There's nobody in our league that's not good, and there's nobody in our league that can't beat somebody else on any given weekend. So we didn't play well enough. They played well enough. They made the plays when they needed to make them. We didn't. We turned the ball over. We didn't run the football well enough on offense. We gave up too many big plays on defense. I think it's simple as that. Questions?
Mike, defensively, it was a bad sign the first series, and then it went downhill really quickly from there defensively, and that's, that was the first thing, obviously, but just talk about that first, and just Missouri State was able to move the ball with a lot of consistency in the first half particularly.
Yeah, I think that first drive, when they got the ball, they were able to move it very well, and I think there was a period of time there where we got some stops, like in the second quarter when we got, they got up on us, and then we got some stops and we scored to get it to 24-24. I thought at that point going into halftime that we kind of had it back on track, and that it was 0-0 at halftime, basically 24-24, and I believe we were going to win the second half, and we didn't do that. We didn't play well enough. We didn't make the plays at the right time. They did, and we turned the ball over.
Malik Earl, their wide receiver, number 17, was he had 11 catches today. Just talk about what a difficult matchup he was, and then in tandem with their other wide receiver, Holloman. That was difficult, especially after Lionel Brown got injured.
Yeah, and that was difficult. He's a good player. 17's a very good football player. Number 5's a very good football player going into the game. And their quarterback played well. For all the talk about what happened with the other quarterback, this guy played really well. I got to give them credit. And we have got to play better than that. We didn't play like we could play.
As you mentioned, the turnovers, especially in the second half, hurt a lot. You also lost 3/5 of your offensive line as well. Can you just talk about the influence that had? Not to make excuses, but that didn't help your cause either.
Yeah, we've been, protected from the injury bug pretty well up until this game. And we lost, boom, 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 3 offensive linemen, James Lang, Matt Byrne, and Dakota Vermillion in the second quarter. And 2 of them were declared out in the second quarter. They held Dakota out, and then they declared him out at halftime. I don't know how that's all going to pan out, but they were all 3 head injuries. Then Lionel Brown being hurt was significant. I don't know all the details of that, but it doesn't look good.
Bob Pugh, too, looked like he was missing after.
Yeah, Bob Pugh had an ankle sprain that happened early in the game. I'm going to say end of the first quarter, second quarter. He had an ankle sprain.
When you talked to me earlier this week, you talked about the roller coaster that this team is taking on in the course of games, and today's game was no different from that. How do you kind of compute this roller coaster right now in the scope of a loss after going through it in the scope of 2 wins? How does this team get out of that pattern that they've had? Some good and some bad, and today the bad hurt you?
Yeah, I think too much bad. The good news about the two games that we won. I'm not. With all due respect to Butler, I'm talking about SEMO and Illinois State. Those 2 games, we were a roller coaster, but we had enough highs we were going up the roller coaster enough that there weren't the downs. And today it was I don't know how roller coasters go that way, but there were way too many downs and not enough ups. And that, that's the only thing I can say, as far as an analogy. We've got to find a way to eliminate that and play more consistent and eliminate the downs. We've got to tackle better.
The past couple of weeks, Coach, you really credited the guys of sticking together late in those games and being able to pull out those wins against Seymour and Illinois State. I know you pointed to the turnovers, but really besides the turnovers, what did you feel was the biggest difference in the second half?
I would say the combination of turnovers and the fact that they made plays and we didn't make plays. It comes down to that. You got to be able to make plays, and we didn't make the plays when we needed to make plays, and they did. Somebody else, I think, was starting to ask a
Kind of
question.
fed off my question. Another week where a slow start in the second half today, or last week, you're able to combat that, get the win. Today, obviously, second half and the first half, different stories. What do you do going forward to try and help, going in the half, coming out stronger than you did?
Yeah, we've got to evaluate that. We've got to do better in the third quarter. We must be better than that. We've just got to evaluate it. I don't have the answer right now. I've got to look at it and evaluate it and discuss it with our coaches and go from there.
Mike, when you look at it defensively, in terms of what you're evaluating, you mentioned tackling. Are there other things that you look at in terms of evaluations going forward? Missouri State was able to both run and throw the ball pretty effectively today. I know you haven't looked at film or anything like that yet.
Yeah, the two things that I would say, let me give you three. I already said tackling, okay? Our run fits were not what they needed to be. Our people weren't fitting. There's places that people need to fit in the run game, and we were not. We'd have everybody fit except one guy, and they were hitting the hole that one guy didn't fit in. And so we've got to be better in that regard. And then we can't have, we had balls thrown over our head today. Big plays thrown over our head, we can't do that.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Okay?
We'll have Jameer coming in a minute if you guys want to get started.
I guess I'll talk to Isaac. I guess I'll hit you first. Kind of the highs last week of coming out of a close win, but some low lows today in terms of the production was, the numbers were there, but some key plays weren't, and some turnovers. Talk about what a hard day it was. In terms of trying to get over the hump in the second half.
They played well. You got to give them credit. They played well on defense, and I got to protect the ball. So I think our offense did a good job fighting until the end, but we just got to focus on not turning the ball over. So.
What was Missouri State? They were bringing pressure. Anything that they were doing specifically that hurt you guys today in terms of trying to move the ball? You moved the ball, but not as consistently as you
They weren't really pressuring from the second level too much, like center blitzes. Their front forward doing a good job getting pressure. Their defense played well behind them too, so they had a good game.
Robert, what did you see out there? It was Missouri State obviously has improved quite a lot since last year, so they probably deserve some credit. But what were you seeing from them defensively that?
They were playing sound. They were mixing up their coverages, hiding them, rolling, just doing whatever it takes to kind of mix it up. But they did a good job, and you got to give credit, like he said, where credit's due. I just think that we need to get better. We have to have a better attitude going into next week, and there's a reality check for our offense. And I think Thurman's going to probably say the same thing on defense, but we just need to come together and just have a different attitude and a different mindset going into next week.
Yeah, Jameer, I mean, it wasn't a very good day for the defense. It was after the big play early in the game, the offense got, Missouri State came down and scored right away and continued to move the ball, and just stopped that. What made it difficult today for you guys to keep them under wraps?
The first thing was just wrapping up, making tackles. We missed a lot of tackles on D. People trying to go for the ball when instead we need to wrap up first and make that tackle. Communication, and then giving up exposure plays on D. We had way too many exposure plays today, and that killed us, especially when they scored quick. Right after offense just got off the field, they scored right away. That just killed us today. And we usually don't give up exposure plays like that, but Missouri State exposed us in that area today, and we got to work on that this coming week.
Yeah, what do you kind of focus on to fix that?
Just communication, knowing where your help is, just knowing what you have, and just execute. Execution was bad today all across the board, and we got to improve on that.
Isaac, one mitigating factor was you guys lost 3/5 of the offensive line by halftime. And just talk about what, and I'm not making excuses, but talk about what influence that had on the second half and made it a little bit more difficult to, you didn't have all your guys out there.
Yeah, I feel confident in whoever comes on our line because I know how hard our whole team works. But I'm just gonna look inward first because I know I didn't have my best game.
Yeah, for all three of you guys, Jameer talked about, and Rob, you talked about it too, a bit of a wake-up call. Just talk about what kind of soul-searching the team does. You had a couple close wins that felt good, but this one obviously doesn't. And what do you guys do going into next week to avoid the kind of roller coaster ride that's been taking place?
I think just competition within ourselves, pushing each other, not letting this. Now we know what this feels like. You know what it feels like to get beat bad by this kind of team. I think that just within ourselves, we need to go out every day and practice and hold other people accountable. Because I think if we let one fall, then that kind of stuff happens. Like if someone goes down, then people who come in, like they're not playing up to par. But I don't think that was an issue today. I just think that a lot of us haven't been in a situation like that before. New guys playing, young guys playing, and I just think that we just need to come together and just work through it. I mean, it's a process. It's only the 5th game of the year, but I mean, we're going to get better as the time goes on.
Same question for you. And to be fair to the defense, you guys lost Lionel very early in the game as well.
That was a big blow to us on the losing a senior corner. It's going to hurt, but those guys got to step up. And when he went out, they picked on our corners. They went after them because they are new guys stepping up. They have to be able to play. And we told them that next man up, whenever. Corners, we've been having some games where they've been attacking the little out routes here and there, but we have to focus on that in practice. That starts in practice. People being accountable, like Rob said, we have to be accountable in practice, holding each other accountable, and focusing on what we need to work on in practice to improve, and so we don't let it happen again.
Gentlemen, Coach, I asked the same question to him about just the slow starts we're getting in the second half. Both sides of the ball suffered that today. What do you do going forward to try and come out strong in the second half, especially after the first half that you put up against Missouri State?
We just gotta keep attacking on D. They were hitting us on the edges. People just gotta wrap up, make tackles. We just gotta keep attacking, just how we start off in the beginning. Like we can't just let up because we feel comfortable. We have to always be attacking. Feel like we're always behind. We need to play like that at all times on D, and then that'll show on the field as well. I feel like too many times guys got complacent on where they were on the field and what they were doing, and that showed on the field, and that's why they were able to get those big plays on us.
Offensively, I think we just need to take it play by play. We start off strong because we put drives together, and then in the second half we either try to come back or we try to get up too quick. We try to take big shots and try to get it all back at one time. And I think that if we just put drives together and take our time, like we do to start off the game, I think we'd be fine in that situation. I think we just need to relax and be confident and be relaxed in where we are, not try to rush anything.
Anything else? All right, thank you, gentlemen.